So it's election time in the country again, and this is your home state, Bihar, which is going to election. Freebies continue to dominate the political narrative and the political promises. Your thoughts on the matter, and what has the Supreme Court said on this?
So this question of whether freebies should be permitted at all or not as an electoral promise had engaged the consideration of the Supreme Court in a matter in which I was appearing before the Chief Justice's bench. If I'm not mistaken, it was Justice Ramanna's bench. He was inclined at one stage to look into this matter, but somehow he got overawed by the way the political parties were objecting to the hearing and the way they, all of them ganged up that this is not correct. According to me, this actually is a very large problem which our system is facing. Firstly, if a political party is promising freebies, obviously this money is not their political party money. It is your and my money which ultimately will be given in the form of freebie. So if it is our money, then we have a right to know that what is the condition of finances of that state where you are promising to give freebies. So if for instance, if a particular state is already in the red and is unable to meet its annual expenditure from its own earnings, then obviously to say that I'll give freebies is putting further burden on the balance sheet of the state, and that itself, that should be completely banned. So if the state is already in the red, there is no way by which you can give freebies. If the state is in the green, I mean, if it's a surplus state, if it is having more revenue than its expenditure, then you should, while announcing a freebie, definitely inform the electorate that where are you proposing to get this quantum of money which you want to give as freebie. So for instance, if the farmer is to be made to pay this extra money, or if the common man has to pay it in the form of taxes, or if the GST has to go up, or if any particular tax has to be increased in a particular state, then which section of the state will ultimately be funding the freebie should be indicated prior to the election, at the time when the political party discloses wants to make an announcement of freebies. And I think it is high time that the Parliament came out with a law on this subject. And till the Parliament comes out with a law, I think the Election Commission, also under its plenary power under Article 329, can definitely frame guidelines, binding guidelines for political parties to follow as far as the freebie culture is concerned. Because what is happening in state after state, that people are offering all kinds of freebies. Today, I don't know whether you're aware or not, in the Delhi or in most of these states now, electricity tariff is supposed to go to almost double of what we are paying today because of the revenue gap that has been created over a period of time by the regulatory commissions. Now, why did this revenue gap happen? This revenue gap happened because you wanted to fund the electricity bills of the common man, either give him free electricity or electricity at very, very concessional rate. Now, if you want to do that, obviously you are not compensating the distribution company with the sufficient revenues to balance its receipt and expenditure and create a revenue gap. Now that revenue gap, ultimately everybody will be paying, because there is an accumulated amount which has now happened as far as the electricity board is concerned, electricity distribution companies are concerned, which will have to be paid by, again, a tariff shock. So you have to be pragmatic when you think of issuing a freebie. And when you say pragmatic, you should not be permitted to offer a freebie just to get into power this time, without realizing the larger consequences of this freebie that you are offering in this particular electoral battle. So I think this is a subject which the country needs to think of very seriously. We should either have more of public debates on this, and definitely it's a need of the hour to have a law on this subject, or the Election Commission to step in to curb this menace that is happening. Today, every political party is indulging in freebies, regardless of, so it's something which is uniform for every political party, and they do it without any planning, without knowing from where they'll get the money for honoring this promise, and they end up ultimately ruining the finance of the state.